Meet Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Representing the great state of Texas, she's known for her colorful ideas about welfare and race. During a recent interview, Congresswoman Crockett said not only does she think black people shouldn't have to pay taxes, but, in her own words, since a lot of black people already don't pay taxes, she thinks we should just simply pay them for being black and presumably voting for the Democrat Party.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket, but at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those checks like they got during COVID.
Exactly.
Congressman Crockett's political beliefs seem to revolve around the idea of giving everybody a fair shake, as long as everybody is the same skin color. She calls this equity. Another word you could use to describe this would be racism. Of course, some of you might think giving away money to people who are disenfranchised and marginalized sounds generous. Jasmine Crockett is a giving person. Who doesn't love that? The problem with being generous with other people's money has two basic flaws. Flaw number one, you never spend other people's money quite as carefully as you spend your own money. Show me a government-funded program for food stamps or public housing, and I'll show you a system that is rife with cronyism, misspending, and somebody somewhere getting a kickback or a handout who just so happens to be a politician's friend. But problem number two is equally as important. See, you can't solve problems using other people's money without first taking that money away from them. The basic nature of this system involves taking money away from innocent people at gunpoint. That's not hyperbole. See what happens if you don't pay your taxes. An agent from the government will show up and try to arrest you. And if you resist arrest, guess what? Guns show up. The fundamental basis of the welfare state involves forced labor. And forced labor, ironically enough, is the reason that Representative Jasmine Crockett thinks we should give money away to people who were never slaves and take it away from people who never owned a slave.